Hello and welcome to episode 290 of Checkpoint Chat. My name is Alessandro Barbosa. I'm joined by Matthew Figuera.
On a fine Sunday
nodding.
where ever since that one episode where I forgot to do video, you best believe I'm out here triple checking. Like I've hit record in the audio, I've hit record in the video. I've got
How many
our
episodes ago was
timer
that?
going. It was like
2
three
or 3?
episodes. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
It feels like it was the last episode, so I wasn't sure.
It was a lifetime ago at this stage, but yeah, now so you're like, we're kicking the podcast off. All I'm thinking is, hang on. Yes.
Have I hit record?
Yes. Okay, we're good. I have hit record.
Nice.
On this.
It is, like you said, it's a Sunday.
Hmm.
You would never know it, but I'm in pajamas right now. That's how late it is.
You would never know it, but me too.
It does look relatively sunny though, your side. I guess
still sunny, yeah.
It's still like summer, so yeah, it's pitch dark here.
Yeah, it's 7:15 now. It only gets it is getting darker sooner. Remember, in the peak of summer, it's only gets dark by like 10:10. Now it's getting dark by like 8:30, I would say. So we're definitely on the downward trend to winter, which I'm sure you're grateful for, means you are on the upward trend back to summer. Although I heard this week, Lenska was chatting to her parents this morning, and they said they had a day which was like, there was like a day that was mid-20s or something ridiculous.
This past week.
Or coming this week. Oh, maybe it's this week the weather warms up.
Coming this week, yeah. This past week was the coldest of the year. It was
this coming week, I think it's just
this coming week there's a day or two which are like 25. So
which is
we're out of the woods. We're done.
You say that. There'll always be one last cold spell, and then it's like proper summer.
I feel like that was last week, because last week it suddenly went from like for a while we were chilling at like highs of 20, highs of 19, and then all of a sudden overnight it was like cool, high of 7. Like, oh, okay, yeah. There was snow in the Midlands. My sister got trapped in the snow there. It was just like for 3 days around the country, really. It was just fucking miserable. It was raining here. It was like London. I got to gym the one morning. It was like -5, dark, raining, and cold. And I just didn't want to be there. It was just not.
Two things. First of all, the fact that it's raining in August in Joburg is wild. That's very weird.
It should not happen.
And I know it rained. You guys had like a spell of rain even in like May or June, which just should not happen at all. Joburg in winter it's dry. Everything goes sort of that like dusty brown / orange, whatever. So I know. And secondly, you're poking fun at the rain in London. Let me tell you, we are in the middle of a drought. It has not rained in weeks. And to circle right back to Joburg in winter. Honestly, the parks here look like Joburg in winter. The run we did yesterday, Lenska put together routes where we ended up going through a lot of parks to get to where we were getting through. And it's unreal and pretty scary how dead everything is. Just no rain for weeks. Absolutely none. I saw a video this week as well where the dude was like, the UK government hasn't built a reservoir since 92. Like a what?
Oh.
So it's just like, how are they preparing for this weather? Because this isn't the first heat wave. Like there's been heat waves over the last couple of years now, and it's just
when is London's day zero?
Yeah, so it's crazy because the meme is, haha, it rains in the UK all the time, and I think once upon a time maybe it did, but that's not the case at the moment. It hasn't been for the last couple of years now.
Matthew, are you trying to imply that there is some global phenomenon that has changed our weather patterns?
That would be ridiculous. What I'm trying to imply is that the Earth is flat, and that's
some celestial being has frisbeed us into a new new hemisphere of weather.
The celestial being who typically holds the flat orb that goes through the sky has now decided to just keep it in the air for longer, move it closer to the sky that it gets hotter.
Of course. I mean, the most logical explanation is usually the correct one.
What? I need that as a tattoo on
I,
my
it,
on
it,
my arm
isn't
immediately.
it? Isn't it a thing? It's what's it called? Occam's razor. That's it's a thing. It's a
An
thing.
actual
Occam's.
saying, the most logical
Uh,
answer is usually the correct one.
Occam's razor is a problem-solving rule. It states that when you have two or more competing guesses for how or why something happened, the simplest explanation is usually the best choice.
Yes, okay, which I'm sure makes complete sense in scientific studies and fields and theories, but
It's
when
philosophical, but this is why I'm saying the flat Earth with
yeah,
someone holding the disc,
it's the
simplest
simplest,
has to be
100%.
that.
Yeah.
Actual like pollution and years of us killing our ozone, causing a global warming, if you will, that affects our weather patterns. Never. So complex. How can you even wrap your head around that?
I
No
know.
way.
I did laugh at the one thing I shared in our Discord today. the obviously a parody thing, but it was something captioned "Water temple drained to cool down Harol's new data set." I was like, that's just so good, so good.
You've never played Ocarina of Time, have
I
you?
actually haven't. No, I think I've started it, but I've never like played beginning
So you
to
don't
end.
know the pain of the water temple
No,
in
no.
yeah. So I played it, and because I expected it to be bad, it was bad, and apparently the 3DS version makes it the least bad
Less
possible
bad.
because it allows you to do different inventory stuff that the original
Uh,
didn't do. Super curious to see how they do that in the remake,
yeah.
or what they do in the remake. Yeah.
The remake, which is
You should play that before the remake comes
yeah, I
out. I
should
think
actually.
it's real good.
Maybe
Yeah,
is it a Nintendo 64 game? Huh?
it is. I think it's on the 64 thing on Switch.
Yeah,
Um, but
that's how I'd play
you
it.
have
I
a
think.
functioning 3DS, don't you?
No, my 3DS has. First of all, it's not in the country with me.
Oh well, that's a problem.
That's a problem. Second of all, my 3DS had, I think, what is known as a common problem where over time, like it doesn't go on anymore, and I think it had something to do with like maybe the battery has done something. Like I don't
Mm,
know. There's some other longevity problem with the
it
3DS.
brokey.
It brokey.
Yeah.
to quote you, it brokey. So yeah, no
So Switch version it is, which
Switch
is the
version
OG
it is.
version. Yeah.
The,
Enjoy that.
yes, as Reggie intended in the 90s, the Switch.
4x3 on a 16
Just
by 9
beautiful.
Switch,
Yeah.
1080p. See that 360p in all its. I think it's actually lower than that. In all its splendor, to be honest. It's good. Game's good.
That remake is still apparently coming out this year.
Yeah, I reckon there will just be like some surprise direct in September or something that
And
just
I'm
announces
telling you,
it.
that game will come out in November with
Oh,
Grand Theft Auto
100%.
6.
I 100% think you're right
But,
that it's going to be
but
either on the same day or around there. Yeah.
please, Reggie, if you're listening, just make it so. Just for the meme, Nintendo the only company who would do it. And they could do it. They'd get away with it. No one Switch 2 owners aren't holding out for GTA 6. It's like a very small overlap of people who are Switch 2 owners who are also going to play GTA. I would argue.
The
But
Legend of Grand Theft Zelda.
Legend of Grand Theft Zelda. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's your new Barbenheimer. That's what it is. I'll workshop it a bit more. I'm sure we can
Well,
combine the two. Grand Theft Ocarina. Grand Theft Time.
hang on. This made me laugh.
Ocarina Auto.
Okay, this is terrible for the audio views, but let me just pull your attention to this window over here. Now, I'm sure I've shown you this before. This
Whoa.
is the 22. Can you see that? It's going to be so
Yes.
tiny for you on my shared screen. But this is
It's for ants at this
Game
at this point
Rounds
in time,
do a video game release dates calendar, which is remember I run the Metacritic game. I've got to check game dates and blah blah blah. This is the best thing I've seen. Okay, it's not like this complicated list. It's got like the year at the top here, and then you can filter by like, cool, I want to see like, oh, we're in September, August. What's coming out in August? Cool. Here's everything listed by date. You can see the art, the box art, whatever. What makes me laugh though is you see September, busy. Okay, cool. October, busy. November, we know is GTA. It's just going to be GTA, right? Wrong. It's GTA and Godzilla. Destroy All Monsters Melee Remastered.
It's actually crazy that there's nothing listed in November. Just nothing.
Except for Godzilla. This game is brave enough to take on Grand Theft Auto.
That game's going to be cooked when it comes out between GTA and Ocarina of Time.
I mean, and then it's like December. There's a few, like, not a lot of games release in December, but it illustrates September is super busy.
September
October,
is insane.
So busy. And then it is November. It's literally just, it's GTA and Godzilla.
Wow.
It's crazy out here.
So what you're telling me is like all of the year's next games are coming out in the next 2 months.
Pretty much.
Wow. Crazy. And we have what's it called? Opening Night Live, ONL, for Gamescom at the end of August.
There'll be stuff
Keighley show.
There. Mm-hmm.
I highly doubt there's going to be stuff, here's what's coming in December sort of things at that show, but maybe in the January, March window, which has become like pretty busy.
Yeah.
I mean, like Fable's coming out in February in that window. So,
yep.
Stuff happening. I don't know if you got to see some of the impressions of Wolverine that came out.
I haven't read anything yet.
Seems there's a lot of previews that are just like happening just before these games pop out. Like Fire Emblem got a preview run now, even though their game's out in September. Wolverine is the same thing. Blood of Dawnwalker had the same thing as well. So all these games coming out in 4 weeks are getting these previews. Wolverine seems pretty neat. A bit more mixed reactions than I would have guessed. Like GameSpot, Timur Hussein was pretty positive on it. Greg Miller, kind of funny. Thought it was kind of boring, which is an interesting,
Yeah, but Greg Miller also is a Starfield advocate, so...
Yeah, what can you say about that? Sure.
He's, like, I think he's got some... He does like a lot of mainstream games for what they are, but then there are niche games he absolutely... Not like Starfield's not a niche game, but there are games that, for all intents and purposes, he is an outlier in his view on it. So, but
I know he didn't like Clear Obscure either way, as well.
He'd what?
So he didn't like Expedition 33. Not that he didn't like it. He's like, this is not my type of game. It's
which
just
is
like,
fair.
This is not my sort of thing.
All that said, Wolverine should be a Greg Miller game. So it is interesting.
Yeah, I found that kind of odd, but it also kind of got me thinking about, Wolverine. It comes from Insomniac. It's coming from Spider-Man developers who did a really good job with Spider-Man, but I think it's a much harder character to translate
100%.
into a interesting adventure because he is very one note. He is combat. That's it. So that's what made me curious over the previews, because I wanted to see, is there something? Is there another wrinkle? And I think the previews all honed in on it is just combat, and it is this linear narrative adventure with combat, but the combat is quite interesting. And I'm just like, is that enough? I'm not so sure. I'm curious to play it. I just don't know.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to follow Spider-Man the games because they've all been pretty damn good. But also in my head, it is Spider-Man's like an open world game, and they've structured it that way, which makes complete sense. I'm kind of hoping Wolverine is, for the lack of a better comparison, just kind of like Uncharted in that it's a wild.
I think they've said it is kind of like that. Yeah.
But even like where by the time you finish it, there's like a really solid narrative that keeps the best recent examples 007 Last Light. It's just an A to B. There's like small pockets of sandbox stuff, but in terms of narrative, that story is just phenomenal. And I'm hoping maybe that's it. It's got Insomniac. I think you said in the Discord, Insomniac did such cool stuff with Spider-Man, how they reframed certain things and changed characters in subtle ways, whatever. And I think, well, we all know Wolverine's this person, and we know Rogue and other people are going to be there, but what does the Insomniac X-Men universe look like? No idea. So, yeah. Imagine you get to the end, it's like, in this universe, like, Dr. Xavier's actually the bad, I don't know. They could do cool stuff.
I think that's the thing I'm hoping for, because they did really well with that in Spider-Man.
Sorry.
And this
Professor
exists within
Xavier.
that same universe. Yeah.
Marvel fans are like, did he just say Professor Xavier? Sorry, let me just
Doctor Xavier. Oh, who knows?
let me save
Doctor
myself.
could be a doctor now. You don't know.
100%.
He hasn't got his professorship yet. He's getting there.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
Magneto isn't Magneto. He's Clay-Neto. He manipulates clay. There's just no.
Why clay? Of all the
It's
things.
just the first thing that came to mind.
Could have chose like any other metal,
I
but
know.
not clay.
Magneto. Come on.
That's kind of what I'm hoping for, but I also think that this is not going to be a 20, 30, 40 hour game like
No.
Spider-Man. This has to be like a 12, a tight 12 to 15, if that, sort of game. So curious to see what the discussion is around that, because I think we've all been tuned to expect big long games now, and even 007 ran into this where people are like, oh, it's only like 12 hours, that's a bit weird. But it has to be. There's no way you can play those games for longer than that.
Please normalize just normal length games.
Yeah.
Thank you in advance.
I agree. I'm keen to play it. I think Insomniac doesn't really miss, and they kind of understand these sorts of games. It's just not a formula they've done in a very long time.
No.
Because even Ratchet and Clank is pseudo level based, but it's almost like wide open. You're running to these areas and they're a bit more like free form, and you get to re-explore them and stuff like that. They haven't done a to B narrative or linear game. I'm trying to think of when they last did that, actually.
But even on Ratchet and Clank, it's what keeps a game interesting as well. Is, yes, it's you like you said, it's semi-open, not open all, but it's these bigger play areas, and what keeps it fresh is like, oh cool, you get this new weapon, you get new weapons regularly, and then you use those weapons to do fun, cool stuff with combat, whatever. Whereas Wolverine, I'm like, cool, he's got claws.
He's got them claws. Yeah.
Even Spider-Man, the Spider-Man's just fun in that, he's got web, but they found ways to, add gadgets on Peter, and then Miles had his own special abilities. Wolverine, it's just claws, and I'm like, I don't know what they do.
And I'll be real, like, Spider-Man's combat is good.
Yeah.
But it is not the reason I play that game,
No,
and it is not the highlight of that game by far. So stripping it down to just that, I think obviously gives them a lot more time to focus on that, but is that enough to sustain a full game?
It's going to have to be kind of like and I don't know if it would be like this, but kind of like a Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, or where it is just these crazy combos and things you can do in the game that keep it fresh. And like, I don't know. Honestly, I haven't read any previews. You might be like, no, that's straight up, that's not what it is. But I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't really get that sense. I got the sense that it's like a combat system that still leans into the sort of like Arkham-ish parry when this little indicator pops up, and strike when this thing comes up, but then it uses like his rage meter in weird ways. But either way, I don't know. I mean, it's less than a month away, or it is a month away. It's like 20-something of September. I'm curious to see it, because I could see it going either way. I could see people going, wow, this is really, like, the story really carries this combat that is actually really fun and nails Wolverine, and it's tightly paced and it's great. Or like, oof, there's just not enough meat here to carry this whole thing. And how it dictates what Insomniac does going forward. Because I presume after this is like another Spider-Man for sure.
Huh. Wolverine comes out September 15th, which means I've got a very short amount of time to play it and finish it.
Because you'll be coming here then. Yeah. Shit, that's a month away. That's crazy. 15th.
Crazy.
Hopefully or actually Sony stuff we usually get quite late nowadays, so probably won't get that before then. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Yeah.
Speaking of, well, this segue would have worked a lot earlier when we were talking about remakes in Ocarina of Time.
Oh, wow.
It's Checkpoint Chat. We talk about video games. Speaking of remakes, because that's definitely what we were talking about right now, we've both played and finished Halo Campaign Evolved, which I maintain is a dumb name for a game that was Combat Evolved.
Yeah.
I guess they put that in there just to emphasize this is just the campaign of Halo. There is no multiplayer here, which is equally dumb. So it is just the Halo campaign from 2001, 2002.
Mm.
Remade in Unreal Engine 5 because that's what Halo Studios is going to use for the series going forward. Plus, is it 3 new prequel missions that take place before the events of Halo 1?
Yeah.
I've played this campaign multiple times over the years. I played the original on the first Xbox. I played Anniversary on 360, which was not a great remake, but in my stupid baby teenager eyes thought was really good, but going back to it's pretty bad. I played it again when Master Chief Collection came out, and now, I mean, I again played this so many times. So to come back to it with a new gloss of paint, it looks really good. It's made me realize that the level design in this game is aged rather poorly. Even if you can still see why it was such a inspiration for first person shooters going forward at the time. It still does things that I think a lot don't do now, but it also just feels like, oh yeah, this is an early 2000s game in terms of what you're doing repeatedly. So interesting product from that perspective. I don't think it's going to do the thing that maybe Microsoft expects and get people super invested into Halo again, especially on PlayStation. But it was kind of cool going back to this and playing it for the first time in a couple of years. I don't know how you feel about it. Have you played Halo before?
So I played, funny enough, I'd only played the first Halo, which was on PC, and then none of the other Halos came to PC for a long time until I think the
I don't
Master
think
Chief
3 ever
Collection
did.
No idea. I only played the first one. I was like, this is quite cool. Just then missed the rest of the franchise until Halo Infinite. There's
Good
like
game.
this, like I enjoyed Halo Infinite, but there's this huge gap of I had to do a lot of reading to understand what the hell is going on lore-wise. So
listen, the people who played all the Halos had to do a bunch of reading to figure out where the fuck that game starts. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. Is that I played the first Halo many years ago. Okay, probably within its first 3 or 4 years of release. Don't remember much of the story. I do remember, there's the Covenant, and I remember the Flood as being this, race of whatever on this Halo planet installation or whatever. But then having played the game now with the understanding of like, okay, like there's this grand Halo universe, man, what did you guys think of this game when it first came out? Because it leaves a lot of stuff just pretty like unanswered. Like I think in terms of stories, let me just, I will start and say like visually, the game looks good. It's very cool, very pretty. Some nice moments where it's like, wow, this is some good stuff. Okay. In terms of story, I'm like, yeah, it's a very interesting setting of, okay, you go to Halo and spoiler, it's this big installation that's designed to like stop the flood from spreading, because if the flood gets out, they will like consume the universe and all these big stakes, whatever. But that's kind of where it leaves the story. It doesn't tell you why the Covenants and humanity are at war. You just kind of arrive on this planet. You don't understand who the Covenant are, really. And then you finish the game, it's like, okay, cool. You get off Halo and there's like a tease for a second game. It's just like, whoa, okay, well, how did any of the original fans know what's going on here? And I guess that's what they've done with each subsequent game, is like fleshed out the story that it's become super convoluted now. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah, I think it does the classic thing of if you can imagine what people thought when they watched like Star Wars: A New Hope for the first time.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
So many of these like conflicts are established there. Like, why is the Empire fighting this? Why?
No, for sure.
Do the Jedi hate this? Like, I think it begs the same sorts of, oh, this is interesting. Why is this way?
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily answer it in the game itself, but I think at the time it was this cool like lore, like what is this installation? Why is it just like habitable in this way? The Covenant, they're pretty like weird alien dudes, and then suddenly there's this third faction that is killing everything, and why does any of this happen? I think a lot of that has been, if you play it now with the knowledge of how fucking convoluted and stupid it gets, yes, this kind of doesn't answer anything. But I think at the time it was really cool because it was just this air of mystery. Like you hear what's the monitor's name, 343, he talks about like forerunners, and you're like, who
Yeah,
are they?
what
Like,
is a forerunner?
What are they? And it takes forever for the series to even like answer that. And
Yeah.
it's cool because it's just like this omnipotent thing that is like, oh, they were here before us and they did shit. And it's cool. I think games like Halo and a lot of series that have been going for like 20, 30 years, like Star Wars finds itself in this position as well, where when they start trying to answer these questions, they get stupid.
Yeah.
They don't have good answers for things that were never meant to have answers in the first place. And then it just becomes this like web of nonsense. And Halo, in the same way that Star Wars got confusing, was like, oh, there's certain stories done in books and there's some done in the series and this. And that's where you end up with Halo Infinite, where it's like the beginning of the game, all the events that led up to the beginning of the game did not happen in a video game. And you're just like, well, where are we now? Who are these people? Why are these like, and that's just annoying. I think from a narrative perspective, it's cool that this kind of resets it and goes, this is just Halo. This is how the whole series began. Cool. But I don't know what they do from here. Like, you know, they're so far beyond this. Like, you can't just be like, cool, now we're going to reset the timeline. That just doesn't work.
No, and to be clear, it was more, I'm not criticizing the story of Halo. It's more that observation of now looking back, knowing what I do, and I don't know like a lot about Halo, but knowing what I do about Halo, it really is a thing of like, there really wasn't much here. Like the premise is so interesting, but they don't actually answer a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like all these dangling threads. But yeah, it's interesting. I think like
how do the prequel missions tie into that? Because I haven't played them and you have.
Okay, so
and they're meant to like begin the stories.
Yeah, I think the prequel mission is like fan service, and I'm sure there are things that have happened that over my head because you know I'm not the biggest Halo fan. But you know there are funny nods where right at the beginning you start the mission and the sergeant makes a comment of like, well, until we figure out how to put AI in your suit, like you stuck doing this with me sort of thing. It's like, haha, I get that. Like wherever this is said, like Cortana couldn't move with Master Chief, for example, you know. I think the big payoff in this prequel is like, oh, there's this thing that happens and that's how I think humanity knew a certain piece of information, whatever, and that's like lost on me. But I'm gonna, maybe it'd be interesting to talk to you when you finish the prequel missions to get your opinion of like, oh, was that payoff good or was it just like a like what? Why did they?
I'm just curious because like the start of Halo, like Master Chief is basically in cryostasis. Like why?
Yeah.
Like what led him to be in
that
there?
Doesn't not explained here at all.
Why? Like that's so dumb. This is also why when I heard prequel missions, I'm like, that just takes away this whole air of why was he just chilling on the plane like in cryo, and when they bring him out, it's like, oh, we really this is our last resort sort of thing. Like, but apparently he was just fucking shooting dudes a couple of years ago with Major Johnson anyway. It's confusing to me.
I know. So look, I think this game 100% it exists for nostalgia purposes because it's people who played Halo in its heyday going, oh man, I've got such fond memories of this game. I want to see what it looks like with the new coats of paint, and the new Unreal Engine looks really good. Okay, it's not, I won't say it's like, I think Halo as a game itself isn't also like the most visually breathtaking game. It's not like Cyberpunk, for example. Okay, like the environments are interesting, but it's like interesting to a degree. But there are moments where you get in the Warthog and you're driving across beaches, you look at the water, and visually it's like, damn, it's beautiful, like cool. Like I want to see more Halo games like this. But take that away, and it is just the first game. And I mean, we spoke about this a little bit before, but I can't help but feel that maybe they should have done more. Like, not necessarily reboot the franchise, but in an era where we are spoiled with like Resident Evil got some fantastic remakes. Final Fantasy VII has had some good remakes, and it is them reinventing and retelling the story. It just feels like this is just too safe. I would have loved to have seen the same sort of story beats hit, but the gameplay hasn't evolved at all. It's the same Halo you remember from the early 2000s. And then I thought about it. You mentioned like, yeah, but it's a first person shooter. Like, how do you, like, what would they do? and it's maybe not a fair comparison, but I think of how when Doom 2016 came out, that just like gave Doom a whole fresh new coat of like it's when we played the game, we're like, oh wow, this is modern day Doom. It's fast
Mm.
paced, and they added this mechanic and it's this and that. It just feels like it's too safe. They just went cool. We'll remake it in Unreal, and that's that. We'll tick the box. We'll play it safe. Fans of the original will love it. We don't piss off fans by remaking it and trying something different. And I get that, but it's just like you mentioned earlier, the mission structure is like it's a bit bland by 2026 standards. It's very go here, shoot this, do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the thing that actually shocked me the most, because I've played this campaign multiple times, and it's only really stuck out now how so many of the missions are just like you're moving from room to room and killing things. And there are other exceptions. The Halo is known for its big sort of like wide open levels, like
Yeah.
Silent Cartographer, and I keep forgetting the one in like the snow, where you're moving to like 3 installations. Like the idea of moving through a battlefield that is dynamic and happening around you, I think is really cool. And when it came out, was like, oh my god, shooters don't do this. You know what I mean? They don't just go, here's a warthog on a beach, like go explore and find your objective.
Yeah.
But even those, like I played the Silent Cartographer, and I was like, wow, this map's a lot smaller than my head remembers it being.
Yes.
It's just, it kind of is just like you drive around the beach and oh, there you are where you needed to go. Whereas in my head, it felt like this almost maze-like area that I'd like struggled to figure out where I needed to go. And it's just not that. And it makes a lot of the missions that are actually small feel even smaller, like storming the Covenant ship twice in the same campaign. Not great. Even though you're doing it once as a normal excursion, and the second time with the flood. I think when the flood is introduced, the game gets a lot more interesting, because
100%.
you're fighting things on 3 fronts, and it just feels chaotic, and it does feel like every single mission you take on, the flood is getting worse and worse and worse, and you can feel that fear of no one's going to survive this. And it was cool to just see that from a different perspective now. But the first half of the game, I was really struggling to stay engaged, and it just kind of made me sad, because I was like, I enjoy this game. I know I love Halo. I think, people talk shit about this series now, but this was a very important franchise to Xbox, probably the most important franchise to Xbox, and like one of the most renowned shooters in the early 2000s, that kind of just lost its way after. So to be this far down, and for them to be going, this is our Hail Mary to get people interested in it again, and it kind of did the opposite for me, was a bit like just disappointing. I actually wrote an article that's on GameSpot now, where I spoke about how the first few hours of this game made me want to just go back and play Halo Infinite, and I ended up doing that. I played the opening and a few hours like messing around in the open world, and I do fundamentally still believe that is the future that Halo should be chasing, and not going back to this. Like Halo Infinite got shit because it came out in a bit of a rough state. It didn't have co-op at launch, and it was built as this platform for stories to come later, which obviously never happened. But I think from a gameplay perspective, it is the first in the series that is like, okay, cool. What was the first game trying to do? What if instead of wide open areas, we gave you an open map? What would that look like? And how would that...
With a grapple hook. So much fun.
With a grapple hook on top of it, how would you approach combat where you can basically, take it from any sort of angle?
Yeah.
And I think they nailed that. People forget that Infinite like evolved the gameplay loop that the first game introduced in the first, like it was the first one to do that in 2 decades.
Yeah.
And I just hope they don't learn the wrong lessons of like, cool, we're just going to, that never worked. Let's go back to what it was 2 decades ago and see if that works.
And then,
it would just be a real pity.
Let's just keep remaking, like, cool, now we're doing Halo 2 in the Unreal Engine, which people would love, I have no doubt, but it's just like, the Master Chief
I wonder if they're
Collection
going to do that,
exists.
because this game seemingly did not sell well.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if they even push forward with that.
Yeah, and there's also, fans can also be a bit insufferable on this game, where... And I think it is one of those things where it is people remember the nostalgia, and if it's not the way they remember, then whatever. Like I've seen discourse on the game puts markers everywhere. And I'm like, yeah, I guess when it comes to enemies being marked, I'm like, yeah, okay, sometimes it is a bit like hand holding, like spoon feeding you. But there's nothing wrong with the game showing me where to go. Particularly in missions where there are like a million corridors and it's not very clear where you need to go. That back then, if you got lost, that was just bad design. It's just a relic of that time when, that's what shooters were back then. But people are like, oh, they've made the game too baby by putting markers in. Like, I don't know. It's kind of nice to know that I just have to go down this corridor to get to the next story beat, whatever. I don't know. Like,
sure,
I know.
I don't know. I remember playing this as a kid and getting lost all the fucking time,
No,
and it was just annoying.
100%.
Just frustrating. Yeah,
it's annoying, but you'll have people going like, "No, that's how I remember it." Now,
nah,
gamers are too soft today. I'm like, that's just bad design.
we don't need that.
We don't need that.
They had to find a middle ground where like they wanted to retain the level designs of the original. Obviously, they're not fundamentally changing it, and so that means not changing what is actually bad level design by modern day standards. Like the library is a fucking disaster to try and like navigate without waypoints, and the tunnels before then when you first encountered the flood, even worse. Like I still vividly remember playing co-op with a good friend of mine at the time and us like going in circles, just like, wait, where are we? Are we back here? What? Because every corridor looks the same.
Yeah.
So I'm totally fine with like waypoints. I also just don't appreciate games that waste my time when they don't need
100%.
to. Also, it's an option you can turn off. Just fucking do it then.
That
like
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I get the argument around like modern games sanding off so many edges that they
100%,
they don't
yeah,
push back
you.
against you, but I don't think this is a case of that at all.
That's the thing. I'm like, I don't buy it. I think that's a pretty smart move. But to go back to one of your points before we do move off Halo, I think you're right. The Halo, I would argue that Xbox does not exist without Halo. Like it's that big a franchise.
100%, 100%.
So I don't know what they do moving forward. Like I would love if they just went, cool, we are now just doing Halo Infinite 2 or whatever the next Halo is in Unreal Engine 5. Well, it's cool. We've experimented. Halo Campaign Evolved is like the proof of concept of Halo on a modern platform. And now we're going to move the story forward with wherever we left off back then. We're going to evolve and see what the next Halo is. I don't know if they need to sit and remake all of them. Like, I just don't know.
Yeah, I think that would be a fruitless effort as well. I don't understand the appeal for that when, like you said, Master Chief Collection exists. The only thing that I would love seeing, and this is a completely selfish thing, is like a remake of Halo 3, because Halo 2 got its own anniversary edition, which is pretty much a remake at this point. Like, it's so good. It's so much better than Halo 1 anniversary, and it's in the Master Chief Collection. It is like, if you've never played Halo 2, which is probably the best one out of the original 3, like, you can play a phenomenal version of that today. Halo 3 never got that.
Yeah.
And so I would love to see that, but also, like, who cares? There's so few people that would care about that. I don't know what people do with Halo now, because Doom was a really good example that you brought up, because I think when it came out, it was like, oh cool, Doom's back. This is a big thing. This is now a tentpole shooter. People are excited for this as a shooter. And I feel even that is like Doom, the Dark Ages did well, but it doesn't have the same sort of impact. I can't think of a first-person shooter franchise that is carrying a console nowadays. It is not the tentpole that it used to be. Whereas back in the day, Halo was the reason you bought a Xbox. Killzone was a big reason why you bought a PlayStation.
Yeah.
These shooters were the thing because they came with multiplayer components that were its whole. People loved multiplayer, and it's not the same. If you're playing Call of Duty, you're playing multiplayer there. If you're playing Fortnite, you're playing. No one's coming to Halo for its multiplayer. This one didn't even launch with multiplayer. Are you coming to Halo for its story? Probably not, So I don't know what to do with it, honestly.
The original, when did Halo get multiplayer? Was it only from Halo 2?
No, the original had it.
Did it have but that I'm just like,
this is why this release makes no sense to me.
It's just like the most baffling decision, because if it came out with multiplayer, like, we might be having a different conversation of like, the story, the design's dated, but you know what? The multiplayer is still good fun today.
Yeah.
Completely different. Which I honestly think the multiplayer would still be fun today. I think there's a good formula there.
Yeah. And you can go play the multiplayer through the Master Chief Collection today. It is still a very active thing, and it's a lot of fun. Like, I played most of the Halo I played was, a local split screen multiplayer, just 2 or 4 people on a map just fucking going at it. It's a ton of fun. It harkens back to that sort of like age of gaming, and the campaign's fun, but it's not. I don't know. Like, Halo is both things. I think Halo is both its campaigns and its multiplayer, and I think both lost their way at the same time. And I just don't think. I don't think you can get people to think about Halo in the same way that they did in the early 2000s now, and I don't think you can change it into something that makes them think about it that way. Like, I don't think you turn it into this blockbuster narrative shooter, and I don't think you turn it into the next big multiplayer game. So I don't know what you do with it. Which makes me sad because, again, I loved Halo Infinite. I had a really good time with it, narrative issues aside, and I would love more games like that. I just don't think we're ever going to get something like that again. Not from Microsoft, at least. Yeah. And it seems like their bets on putting this on PlayStation and maybe finding a new audience there did not pay off at all. So, yeah. I could see no more Halo coming to PlayStation after this, for sure. Yeah.
Damn.
Weird one. Weird game.
Well, I lost you. I've just straight up lost you.
Oh, I'm like hearing you in bits and pieces here. I don't know if we're having audio issues.
Hello? Can you hear me?
No. I can hear. Okay, so audio listeners are getting 2 sides of this conversation, maybe, or probably none. I'm struggling to hear Matthew. He's seemingly not struggling to hear me. He sounds like a robot on my end, so that's confusing.
Wait, you back? We got you.
Oh, I'm back. Okay, we're good. For a second there, it just looked like you were gone. You were just frozen. And I was like,
you had a great monologue talking about something, and I lost you. But the audio.
This is why we do local recordings.
The audio. If you listen to this podcast, there's going to be a very short moment where we lose each other and we find each other again. But in your head, if you're watching the video feed, you'll just watch Alessandra's face just like pixelate, like into non-existent.
At least on my side, I could see you moving totally fine. Your voice is just coming through in bits and pieces. So
very strange. Yeah. Okay.
You'll hear it when you listen to my audio. I have visible confusion. Well, audible confusion talking about this. But we're back. That's what counts. That's what counts.
Okay. Something Halo. You were talking about something.
I was basically saying I just don't know what they do with it. We'll see. I don't think we'll ever see a Halo on PlayStation again. I think this is a one-off, and it didn't work out.
A short-term solution. Not like, I know it's not like you multiplayer equals one solution for this game, but I do think now that the engine's there, if they could figure out how to patch in multiplayer in 6 months, maybe even 6 months, so like I don't know what a feasible things, but I have to believe that that's something that like. How do you sit on Microsoft and not have that conversation? You have to be like, are we doing multiplayer? Like, it's a conscious choice. Surely.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in what is now Halo Studios, because this is, that whole 343 got rebranded as Halo Studios to usher in the new era of Halo, and this is the first thing they've put out, and it's just kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
And you can tell why they did this, because they were like, cool, we need some practice on Unreal Engine 5. This is a very quick thing. This is a game that exists. Let's replicate this. Let's get comfortable with this. And so maybe it's not the most exciting thing they could have done, but like, what do they do? What is a Halo 6 or Halo 7? I don't know.
No idea.
And again, I want to play that game. I want them to continue making Halo because I enjoy it. I just don't know if it's ever going to be as important as it was ever again. Yeah. Bit of a bummer.
Oh.
What would they call this if they put multiplayer in? Halo campaign, also now multiplayer evolve.
Honestly, it needs to be a thing that they just patch it in and it's there, and they do like a PR release, and then on social media they announce, cool, we heard you, multiplayer's in there. Then
that'd be neat.
with crossplay, like, okay, cool, then PlayStation people can play with Xbox people and PC people, and then maybe there's a solid, I don't know if it has legs in it, but if they do that, I think it's enough to be for people to like, oh, cool, like I can play multiplayer now. But knowing 2026, it's a problem when they go, cool, we've added multiplayer also by the season pass, where you can grind out levels, and level 100 you unlock the, I don't know, the something Master Chief. It's like just add
Well,
multiplayer.
that's what they do with Infinite, because Halo Infinite's multiplayer is free. So there's battle passes and stuff like, which I think is actually smart. If you just want to get in on Halo multiplayer, like
100%, that makes complete sense for that game. But if they try, if the box is we remade Halo, like just put multiplayer in, like the good old days.
Just put local multiplayer in. It. Okay. Oh my god, I mentioned it on.
Yeah, last exactly what you were gonna say about your trying to play co-op with your mate.
Oh my god, I couldn't believe it. I think this is mostly down to me playing on PlayStation, because I think Microsoft is so fucking stupid with like, cool, you're playing our game on PlayStation, but also that actually means you need to log in on like a Microsoft account. I couldn't, for the life of me, get a split screen session working when a friend came over. I was like, let's play Halo. I've just got the first one. Let's play split screen. This is great. Let's just do it. No. Firstly, you press X to like join a local lobby. Nothing happens. Screen flashes. Like no error, no nothing. Have to go to a video to figure out that no, you need to log in with a PSN account. You need to switch to that account on the PlayStation, then log into PSN, then come back to the game. And then it will like be like, oh, cool. Yeah, you're actually logged in. Log in.
Why?
And immediately it's like prompt you like, please link a Microsoft account to this, which it did to me when I first booted up the game. And I'm like, okay, I'll link my PSN account to my Xbox account. Fine.
What a wild timeline that is an actual sentence.
Just like, and it refuses to let you play the game unless you do that. Like, not like oh, you can do this later. It's like, you cannot play this game that you purchased unless you make this account link. Like, no questions asked. So now, this second account, I logged in with like a secondary account to my PlayStation, and it's like, you need to link this to an Xbox account. And I'm like, I don't have another one to link to. My friend never played an Xbox in his life, doesn't necessarily have a Microsoft email address.
Why does he need to make
Gmail.
a Microsoft
Why would he need
address?
One? Turns out if you don't have one, you cannot play split screen. I'm like, okay, what if I log in with a guest PlayStation account? Because there's like a Nope, you need to link that to a Microsoft account. Also, these linkages are like irreversible. Once you've made this link, that's it. So you can't. It's not like a throwaway thing that you just do. So we just like closed the game and played Master Chief Collection on Xbox instead. It is insane that this is the way. I'm pretty sure on Xbox you load up a guest account on there and it just works because it's on an Xbox. It doesn't care. Yeah. But this is a crazy solution on PlayStation for a platform where you want people to get interested in Halo. This is a dog shit solution around that. Like, holy shit. I was floored. I couldn't believe it was that bad. Modern gaming was a real plus there. Yeah. Terrible.
So
terrible.
Suppose we ended there. That is Halo Campaign Evolve. I guess the closing sentence or paragraph is that it is visually, it's like cool. Unreal Engine 5, amazing. Put more Halos on there. But in terms, if you looking for the wheel reinvented, not it. And if you have the nostalgia, it's pretty much Halo as you remember, for good and bad reasons, minus multiplayer.
Headshotting grunts with the Magnum pistol, still really satisfying. Nailed it. They nailed that. Yeah,
Bam.
Real fun.
That's it.
Cool. We spoke about Halo for half an hour. Didn't expect that to happen.
Damn, man.
What else is on? Oh, we've both played A Big Walk. Is it A Big Walk or Big Walk? I think it's A Big Walk.
No, I was gonna say it's just Big Walk.
Is it The Big Walk? Nah, can't be the
huge Big Walk.
I'm opening. It's just called Big Walk. Okay. Big Walk by House. The creators of Untitled Goose Game.
Go. I'm gonna come out and say that I knew nothing about this game until the week it launched, and that I had no idea it was first person. I assumed it was.
Oh, did you not? Okay.
Just from the like key art, whatever. I thought it must be a 2D, so like a three, a 2D side scrolling something where it's like
I
a
can see I
cooperative.
can see how you would come to that conclusion.
So
Yeah.
imagine my absolute confusion when I launched into the game with my mates and it was just first person. Like, oh, it's a first person friend game. So if you don't know what Big Walk is, what is Big Walk? How do you explain what this is? It's a cooperative
puzzle game.
puzzle game where you do more than just walking. You basically start on an island, and you and your friends have to not figure out what is going on, but just progress along this island and solve puzzles to get through different barriers into different. I think the best way I've seen it explained is that you're on this island and you start with nothing, and solving puzzles unlocks features on the island to help you do other things on the island.
Yes.
Like, does that make sense? But the
Yes.
game is cooperative with some limitations done intentionally, in that you could join your friends on Discord and talk, but that would defeat the whole purpose, because the game wants you to communicate with proximity chats, and it's important because the entire game is built on this notion of, it's very I'm gonna use the word, it's like analog, if that makes sense, where if you separate from your friends and you're gonna go solve some other puzzle, well, you best take a walkie-talkie with you so you can keep in contact and see what your friends are up to back at base, whatever. There's a lot of like almost manual obstacle, like manual's even the wrong word, but there's obstacles in that sense of you need to solve problems almost like you would in real life. Like if you stranded on an island in real life, sorry, there's no Discord. You got to figure out how we're going to communicate. And even then, one thing that blew my mind with this game is you basically like a little bird character. You can customize your colors and stuff, which is kind of important to do and memorize because there's no nameplates above players at all. And
I didn't think of that.
You
Yeah,
might not have
you're
noticed
right.
that because you played, it was you, Mick, Darren, and Jeff, right? 4 of you.
Yes.
Okay. I played with a group of 8 people. This game is 2 to 12 player multiplayer, and you can set it up in a way that it's catered to 2 people, 3 people, or 4 and more. The puzzles will change based on what sort of, what session you host. I played with 8 people, no nameplates, and it was chaos in the best way of going like, hold on, who are you? Oh, yes, I remember you've got the blue head. You must be John Michael, for example. And it was really cool that like we separated to little groups and we all went and did our own thing. And yeah, I know I've described this game badly, but that is what Big Walk is.
I hadn't thought of the color thing until, like you said, with 4 people, it was pretty easy to distinguish who was who. With 8, I think it would get confusing. Also, it's interesting you call them bird people. I think they look like ants.
You know what? Sorry, ants is probably the better.
They're like a little colony of ants.
No, you're right. Ants is definitely the better.
I think neither of us would do this game justice in terms of trying to explain what it's like. I think if you are at all interested in it, the explainer that is like the first video on the Steam page does an incredible job of selling what the vibe is of this game and what you can expect going into it and the limitations of it. Like, this is a game that, okay, A, you need to play with friends. You cannot play it alone. I think B is best played with like close to 4 people, even though, like you said, I think the puzzles are just from like 2 or 3 players all the way up to 8. You can have more than 8 people, but the like puzzle complexity maxes out at 8. You'll never need more than 8 people, if that makes sense. But it also, there's a big requirement on you need to be playing with other people, but you need to be playing alone. Like, this isn't a 2 people playing in the same room sort of thing, because that actually breaks what the game needs you to do, and that is not be within like earshot of someone.
Yeah.
Because otherwise then you're breaking the game's puzzles. And I think it's remarkable how there's so many of these hurdles for this game to work, and yet they present it in a very easy to understand way, like, hey, use proximity chat in game, don't use Discord. Try not to play in the same room as other people. Very simple house rules on like, you can not obey these rules, but you will not have the same experience.
You'll ruin the experience.
You'll ruin the experience. You'll trivialize it. So it's really cool that firstly, they took the risk on a game that has all these barriers, and B, that it has garnered such a strong positive reception from people who've played it. I think the one thing that is not the fault of the game, it's more the fault of like the difficulty in getting a group to play it consistently, is that like this isn't a game where you can hop in and out and miss a session here or miss a session there. It is, for all intents and purposes, like you playing a single player game where other people have to be with you every step of the way. Like you are solving puzzles in a very linear fashion. They are not randomly generated. So if you are playing with someone who's played these puzzles before, they will know exactly how the solution works. And that can probably cheapen some experiences when a person in your group maybe has to just keep quiet and not do anything.
And you have to pray that friend is and you have to pray that friend is someone who respects not spoiling anything.
Exactly that. Like, and if you are like, oh cool, I must start on this game, you three have played this, like you just can't do that. Like it won't work. So
it's three people be like, God, when is he going to figure this out?
And also, like, it's impossible for you to figure it out on your own. You need to have cooperation. So I think there's this very narrow window of how you can play this game as it's intended to be played. And that, I think, makes it tricky it will probably make it tricky for most people to play it. I mean, just as our example, you said I played with Mick, Darren, and Jeff.
Yeah.
Darren does not want to play this game anymore. Which is
just like, peace out.
Okay. Like, we never played at all this past week because of other commitments and people didn't log on. Like, and it's like, will I ever get back to this? Should I jump onto someone else's game? Because if I don't do that now, will I ever play this game? Because the number of people I can potentially play with are playing with other people. So they will not be able to play when I'm available. So it's tricky. And I just think I don't think that that's a knock against the game. It's just something to keep in mind if you're interested in playing it. I think you have to get on it now and get on it with people who are wanting to play it now as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like the only way I can compare is if you have a D&D group. Like D&D is like a long-term commitment. You're going to meet every Friday and play for months and years and years. It's the same sort of thing where, like, if you're part of a D&D group, if one person can't make it, it's like, well, how do we progress? Unless, like, unless the host is like, okay, cool, like, we'll make sure that this person's, you know what I mean? Like, it becomes complicated. You have to commit, like, cool, the five of us are playing D&D every Friday or every second Friday, and we can only play when all of us are available. This game is very much that. You have to commit and lock in with a group of people. And the only like rare exception I'd argue is if you're someone who just really wants to dip in and out of the game. Like the group I played with on this week was 8 of us. And I know some people are going to bounce and some people are not going to be able to play, and they'll come back and they're just there for the vibes. They're more there to just hang out with friends and just speak shit and like solve puzzles as they get them. They don't necessarily want the game from beginning to end. And you might find there are some people like that. Like with you, it also works the other way. If I think of, if I'm playing this game with my friends and I finish it, but then you, Mick, and Jeff like desperately need a fourth, I'm like, I'll play with you guys, no problem. I obviously won't spoil anything, but like I'm just there for the manual, like the hand you guys need, and to like just chat to you guys and help, like, not help you, but like to be there to play the game with you guys. Yes, but again, it's like it's very specific use cases. But when you do get your group of friends together and you play this game, it is a lot of fun. And laughably, and I don't mean that in a mean way, it's like one of the highest rated, if not the highest rated game on Metacritic at the moment.
Oh, for the year, yeah. I think it's like first or second, yeah.
Which is like, because there's nothing else like it in terms of the kind of experience it gives you. There are many, many friend games, that have similar vibes, but there's nothing like this. How this game is structured and how this game presents itself, and how, like, the only word I keep thinking of, like, how analog it is, where it forces you to like problem solve things, with proximity chat. There's nothing else like it really at the moment. I think it's just such a unique thing. It reminds me, like, the only other, not the only one, but a good comparison is like, we spoke a lot about the Outer Wilds in the Discord this week, where it is just this like this time capsule game. You can only play this game once and appreciate it at that time. I can't play the game a second time and get the same sort of entertainment from it, because I've like completely enjoyed it. And this game is that. The first time you play it is always going to be the best way to experience it, and it's unlike anything else you've played before. But you just have to do it with friends. That's the disclaimer on it.
Yeah. It's just a game I want to experience. I don't want to be left behind
for sure.
and never be able to play this. Because I do think it is... I've only played an hour, so I only played the opening... I mean, the first 4 puzzles are like basically tutorial. They're like not that taxing.
They're for toddlers, as John Michael
They're for toddlers, as John Michael would say. And we kind of stopped playing when we got to the big red tower, which was like the hub for the next, I think it was 6 puzzles, and we hadn't started solving any of those. And I've just heard that they go into some interesting places where, like, yes, we're solving puzzles now with proximity chat, and we might have walkie-talkies, but I've heard anecdotally you're going to get to places where you cannot communicate verbally at all, and you've got to use your like arms to develop like sign language to say what you want to say, and you're going to be separated from a group, and like it really takes on a different meaning of communication, and that all like is naturally progressed through each of the puzzles in a very delicate and interesting way. So I want to experience this stuff.
For sure.
The way people talk about this game who've completed it, I'm just like, I need to experience what this is, because it sounds so unique and so interesting.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
I am very jealous of a lot of reviewers, or not a lot, like 2 or 3 that I've read. They played with their families, but they played in a very interesting way, where they had like a kid in one room, a kid in another room, this person in the office, and they were basically playing, obviously, alone and, through prox chat. But I think the beauty of it was that because they were in the same space, if you're playing with younger gamers who aren't grasping things that they should grasp, you could always just shout down like the passage, a hint or something, and then continue playing the game as it expects.
Sure.
I think it's cool that it's malleable in that way if I guess you've got children or friends at home. If you don't, well, hope your dog can play with a controller or something,
Good luck. Look, all that said, it can be done with 2 people. So if you absolutely must play this game, and you know like to organize a group of friends is just impossible, just lock down a friend. It's like your BFF, we're playing this game 2 players, and I don't think it'll cheapen the experience. It just won't be as big a group. It'll just be a different experience.
True.
So
it's also like super easy. I think it's super easy to get people who aren't like massive into games, but just think logically, like they can puzzle solve, like into this, because it's cheap. It's like $170. Very low barrier to entry in terms of like controls and moving around and stuff. It's very simplistic. As long as you've got like an analytical or like a brain that enjoys solving puzzles, I think you can get most people into this for sure.
As long as you have a brain, you'll be absolutely
As long as you have
fine.
a brain. I mean, having a brain is kind of a prerequisite here. But
no, but it is so interesting to see, because even when there's a whole story for not on the podcast about how I got my group of friends to play this. I gaslit all of them, including myself, to get this game, and I didn't realize it. But that's a story.
Is this why John Michael thought this was for toddlers at some point?
No, we'll get to that. But it was one of the things where we were playing, and I was like, I knew nothing about the game. Honestly, I started playing it because reviewed super well. Everyone's like, oh my God, Big Walk, must play. Bought it, no idea what to expect. And we were playing it, I was like, I will love this game. As someone who's enjoyed like Outer Wilds and Blueprints, like games about solving logical puzzles, I will enjoy this game. But playing with my friends, it's a lot of like some of the vibes is like, I don't know if they're enjoying it. Like those first few puzzles is like, oh, like okay, what do we do? Whatever. It's like, damn, like okay, maybe it's not for them. I'll have to figure out how am I going to play this game, because I really want to play this game. But after the first like 2 hours, that's with that clip I shared with John Michael, him going like, no, I'm actually really enjoying it, because it's a simple premise of when you start, it is like, what the hell are you, like, what are you trying to do? Like, you're solving puzzles. Like, I don't understand the logic here. But as the game opens up and you realize like, oh, here's the next thing I'm trying to do. Okay, cool. Let's go solve some puzzles and collect these dolls or totems, whatever, to put into this machine to like progress the next thing, whatever. then there's like something about it that's addictive and just satisfying to like
Mm.
see that progression. And it was just cool to see that. Not all my friends. Like I know my one friend Dylan is probably like, this is just like, he'll be like Darren. He's just like, it's just not for me. Like I'm more there to like chat. You guys enjoy the vibes, but I don't really dig this game. But it was cool to see my other friends like, yeah, actually, this is incredible. Like really, really keen to play more of this. And it's
I'll volunteer as tribute to take Dylan's place.
that note to you and everyone else: never play this game with Dylan because he is a menace. I'll give you a quick anecdotal story. Like we left that tower you went to, you guys,
the red tower, yeah.
The red tower. Like we left him there. Like, cool, you're gonna be the dude here, and you're gonna coordinate us, okay? So eventually, the first puzzle you solve, you get the key and you cut the key and you like have to take it, whatever. So we got another key and we cut it. Or before we did that, we got the last totem we needed for that tower, and we're about to put it in, and Dylan takes it and kicks it off the tower. We're like, why would you do that? He's just doing it for the memes. Then we get the key. Dylan grabs a key and he runs off with it. We're like, what are you doing? Like, you're just being a menace for the sake of being a menace.
Just for the love of the game.
Just don't play with Dylan. Then you have Dylan on the walkie-talkie. He's like, Fig. I'm like, Dylan. Just us, the walkie-talkie. I'm like, yes, Dylan, what do you want? Says nothing. Then like a minute, it's like, Fig. Like, yes, Dylan, what do you need? Says nothing. Just like screwing with us just for the sake of screwing with us.
I don't know. This sounds like a great time.
But the thing is, like, this is a game you can do that. Like, anecdotally, it's that's my experience with the game. I played it with one friend who just chose to be annoying about it and like try to make the game even harder by not cooperating in certain ways. And it's funny. Like, I'll tell you, at the time I was like, fuck this guy. Why is he being such a pain? But now I can look through like, remember that time Dylan kicked the totem off the tower? Good times. It's a fun game.
I really want to play more. I might just jump into your game because I just don't have faith that the one I'm currently in is actually going to progress much at all. So,
well, you know what you guys should do. Honestly, if maybe chat to Mick and Darren, and Jeff, if Darren's not committed, like maybe do the three of you, because you can have a 3-player game, and you guys just restart it. You speed run the first puzzles, and you guys play as a group. Not at all to say you can't, like, you're very welcome to join my group, but just I don't know how your hours align to my hours, and I don't know if you'd want to like dip in and out and play like
Mick
short
and Jeff
stints.
are old like me as well, so we don't play games till 1 a.m.
Yeah, no, but honestly, it's if you want to experience the game, as in like maybe you need to lock in with 3 people. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. We could do that, and the benefit is that the progression of the game stays with the host.
Yeah.
Which it kind of has to. And Mick was our host, so if he's still in, then we're still Gucci. If it was Darren, then we're cooked.
Also, like Garth was on leave. Maybe Garth wants to.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
I'm pretty sure they might be. Garth and Abby might be interested in playing. That's a very good point. Yeah. We will not punt Garth's dead body off a tower. We'll do that to Darren though.
Just to Darren. Maybe that's why Darren doesn't want to play more.
Yeah,
these assholes. I leave the game and they boot me.
It is really fun. I don't know if you had it in your game, but when someone leaves, their
we had it.
avatar just like sits with little X's over their eyes and is just like dead on the
let me
ground.
Make sure I'm not messing with your video. But hang on, let me pull up.
It killed me when that happened. Mick and I just stumbled upon his dead, like disconnected body, and we died.
Hang on, this is what we did, okay? So this is my mate Dylan and I. We left in the surf. Everyone else had left, and we just messing around. This is what Dylan did. He just he grabbed everyone and he just posed them neatly with each other, which is
it's got like some visual comedy to it. Like, there's no gameplay, anything to this. It's just funny to see the mannequins there with the little X's, the cartoonish X's over their eyes. It's real funny. There's a bunch of good sounds in this game as well. Like every time I turn on and off one of those like spherical lamps, it's like it sounds so good.
Walkie-talkie, really good as well.
Very, very fun. The little speakers on that island that were playing the music as you went past first time, real good. It's got a cool little ambience to it. I like the contrast between like your colorful ant little creatures and a very not hyper realistic, but picturesque, photographic sort of presentation of the island. I think it's really cool.
I think also why this game's hitting is that now I'm going to sound like a cooked unk because I'm old, whatever. But I think the current the youngest generation of gamers, I was reading somewhere, the youths of today, like, were not necessarily born in lockdown, but grew up during COVID, where the thing was, you can't go outside, but you can play games with your friends online and just speak shits, whatever. So I think a lot of that generation enjoy games like this because it's just that's you hang out with your friends. But the new place to hang out with your friends is Big Walk, where you're solving puzzles on an island doing funny things. It's a reason why a lot of these big, and like there's this term like friend slop, because there are like Steam is full of games now that are just emulating these quick co-op.
Lethal Company.
Yeah, there's a reason those games are popular, and they live in the limelight for a short period of time before the next. But Mecha Chameleon's like a good recent example. RV There Yet is a game that came out like a month ago. This is that. It's like you'll have a great time playing co-op with friends with proximity chats, and that's it. Like there's definitely a trend with that, and the reason, like, that's what I read somewhere. It's like people saying like, oh, it's just very normal think of gamers or kids who grew up gaming during lockdown. Like it's a very normal and like comfortable thing to just play with your friends. That's where you hang out. It's like in an online game.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. The whole like friend slop genre is like exploded, and I think this runs the risk of being lumped into that. Like, oh, this is another friend slop game. I think this doesn't fall into the same category just because I think it's far more curated, and
no, for sure.
That's not. I don't want to come across as like, oh, this has more thought put into it, because I think a game like Peak has a lot of thought put into it, but it's a different type of game.
No, for sure.
This is very much like, this is almost like the polished private school version of a Peak, if that kind of makes sense, without making Peak sound bad. Like, Peak is really good.
No, I've played both, and I can appreciate Peak for what it is and Big Walk for what it is. They're very similar in that you're on an island with proximity chats, but they like execute it in completely different ways, like different games.
I didn't realize that Peak is getting like its last content update ever soon.
That's also not
fascinating to me. Yeah.
We made it to the top of Peak once, and we're like, cool, we're done with this game, because we did a couple runs where we'd never made it, and it can be like very like painful. Oh, we've got to start again now. But we did it.
Because it cycles the island every 7 days or something, doesn't it?
No, I think every day. Or maybe it's not every day.
Is it every day?
I think I thought it was every day. But yeah, it was
I
a
thought
thing
it was
of
every 7, sure.
We learned the game, and we kept getting further and further, and finally we made it to the top. Like, cool, we've had our full of this game. It was a great time. And like maybe we'll play it again for the memes. But yeah, Peak is different to Big Walk. It's like, yeah. But it's the same in the sense, it's a, I use the word friend slop. I don't mean it in a negative way. It's like a friend slop game.
No, but that's what people have like collectively started calling these games. Yeah. And for better or worse, like I think some of the games lumped in here are truly slop. Like they're made very quickly, and they play off the laughs of their jank. But then you get like Peak, which is different. I think No, it's good. And if you're unaware, this is made by House, Australian studio who made Untitled Goose Game back in the day. Go watch that video on Steam. It's like a 4-minute explainer of them just kind of introducing what this game is. And I think at the end of that video, either you're going, that's really interesting, I want to see what this is, or this might not be for me. I think that will immediately tell you whether you're putting down 170 Rand or not. I don't think there's a middle ground there for sure.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Damn, look at us, eh? Before we started recording, like, I guess we're just talking Hello and Big Walk, but here we are, an hour 13 in. I did play Nier Automata, but I will bank that for a future conversation, because I will talk about
Yeah, that's not a 5-minute conversation, because that game is talk about Peak.
Oh my God. I will
that
say,
game's Peak. Holy shit.
Before we leave, I do have a question. Because
what did I do at the end?
No.
Oh, damn it.
Okay. Oh, no. Not related to that game. No. So my mate Cello is in South Africa at the moment.
Cello? I remember Cello.
So he's on Steam and we're chatting because we want to play some games together sometime. And I said to him, like, I'm sorry, I've got to bounce now. I'm going to go podcast. And he replied, Yowzers, time to think of a question to send in.
No ways. We're getting a cello question. Can you believe?
I know, in 2026, what inanimate kitchen utensil do you feel the most emotionally connected to?
Okay, I have a counter question before I answer it. What animate object do you have an emotional attachment to? What animate kitchen utensil?
Let's just drop that word there. What kitchen utensil do you feel the most emotionally connected to? That's the question. Okay. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Do I have the most connect? I think this is a pretty easy one, but it's a very pretentious answer. I love my cast iron pan. I fucking love that thing. It's listen, whenever I use it, I'm like, this is painful. This is painful to use. I have to wash it immediately after I use it. I have to like dry it so it doesn't rust. I have to oil it so that it doesn't like perish after time. But fuck me, when I want to cook a steak, I cook that steak on that cast iron.
Just using the word perish, and that like your cast iron pan's just gonna die.
If I don't take care of it, it's gonna get crusty and it's gonna develop an old like it. Let me tell you, like when people are like, oh, you've got a fucking cast iron. Oh, did you fuck up the seasoning on your cast iron? Did you do this? It's really not that complicated. Like it's really easy to just keep a cast iron in good condition and in working order. And when you cook a steak on that bad boy,
it's the best.
That crust, elite, unbeatable. I love that thing so much. Also, if someone ever broke into my house, 100% that's a weapon. That thing weighs like 40 kgs.
I thought you were going to say if someone broke into your house, they wouldn't get the cast iron pan because you lock it away in a safe each night. It's your favorite utensil.
Yeah, I tell you, if ever I'm going to lose a toe in the kitchen, it's because I dropped that fucking thing on my
100%.
Foot. Like 100%, yeah. May as well kill me on the day.
Counter question: does a pan count as utensil? Because
it's a good question. I'm with
you, okay? Because like if we're talking utensils, like, oh, do you like spoons or forks or like a spaghetti spoon or a soup plate, like whatever? I don't know. I might have a different answer.
Like, is a blender a utensil? It's a good question.
But that is my answer. Because if you're going with your cast iron pan, I am going with my NutriBullets, which I use daily. We have a smoothie 95% of the time, apart from like weekends we might have something different, whatever. That thing is just the best. It's like one of the first things we bought when we moved here because we just like having our breakfast smoothie, and we do like a good mix, and I feel like I'm being treated every morning. It never feels like, oh, I'm gonna have my healthy smoothie. I'm like, oh yes, it's like I'm drinking a milkshake, but it's healthy and delicious.
Oh, I do love a good smoothie. Smoothies are so good.
Smoothies are expensive if you buy them out.
Like if you go to like Kauai, it's like $100 a pop almost nowadays.
If I think of how I make my smoothie, it's like our standard smoothie is like a banana, a fruit, so like a plum or a nectarine, like frozen
plums in a smoothie. Interesting.
Just any fruits. Like a banana is there for the potassium, whatever. But anything, like it could be an apple or a plum or a nectarine as like your second fruit. Okay. Then we have like frozen berries, like blueberries, strawberries,
frozen berries,
whatever.
100%. Yeah.
A protein powder, oats, yogurt, milk, peanut butter, and like we've got like a seed mix, which is like chia seed, goji berries.
Ooh.
So like that's all the good
like
stuff.
Flaxseed and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's a proper smoothie, and I'm like, if the cost of that smoothie, like buying those ingredients up front, 100%, like it'll cost you, but the cost of that smoothie is not that expensive, like ultimately.
Yes, I see what you mean. Yeah.
But if you go like here in the UK, go buy a smoothie anyway, it's like anywhere from £5 to £8, and I'm like,
fuck that, absolutely not.
And people pay that. I'm like, why would you pay that?
Yeah. People are actually dropping 100 rand on a peanut butter bomb at Kauai every fucking day.
Takes me, honest to God, like not even 5 minutes. I've got our smoothie, do it in like 4 minutes, like so quick, done and delicious.
And I think that there's a difference between this and like, because people are like, oh, why don't you just make your coffee at home then? It's like, my coffee at home is not the same that I buy out. Like, it is fundamentally different. My smoothie is probably 95% of the same as whatever.
Like, there's no barista trained
No.
smoothie man at my
No.
local store going, yes, we've got this fancy blender. It's like, no, it's just
No.
sharp blades, just cutting things up.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Whereas a very expensive coffee machine with a good grinder, with a good, someone who is making the coffee correctly is expensive. Like getting that level of coffee at home will cost you a lot of fucking money. A NutriBullet is inexpensive, Now I get you. I haven't had a smoothie in a very long time, but you're listing out all those ingredients, and I'm like, I eat these almost pretty much every day, just separately. So like combining them, pretty good idea.
Well, honestly, it's a thing of like, we'll do the same where, so like, we'll always make a smoothie the night before because it's easy, it's done, tick, don't have to worry about it in the morning. And then on the weekend, we might go, instead of blending everything, we'll just make ourselves like a delicious overnight oat bowl. And it's just, it's the same breakfast, just served a different way and equally delicious.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. That's a good answer. Still don't know if either of these are utensils. So if I'm going to answer the utensil question, I'm trying to think of what is a very good utensil. I don't know. It seems so like narrow now.
I know. The spoon. It has to be a spoon.
Spoon's a good one.
Spoon's so versatile.
Oh, I know. Chef knife. There we go. I love my knife.
You're right. That's a good answer as well. Damn.
I'm a big believer in you do not need sets of knives. You need one chef knife because a chef knife can do pretty much anything, and just some patience on how to sharpen it properly, not with the little... I know bench sharpeners are very easy to use and whatever, but when you learn how to use like a whetstone and just take 20 minutes every 2 weeks to sharpen it, that knife is fucking pristine. Oh no, it is...
That's too much time.
It is a meditative experience. It takes some practice, but when you get it, the sharpness of that knife is unmatched.
And the sound.
And it is so nice to use.
Yeah.
You feel like a witcher. It's great. It's really good. And it's the only knife I ever use. I've had it for years and years and years, and it's just great.
No, I'm with you. That's a good answer, but also... and it's funny because even before you mentioned sharpening it, I was going to say, is there no better feeling than you sharpen a knife and that next cut is... but then you went on and said, if you're using one of those other things, like you're a loser. I'm like, damn, I'm that guy.
No, listen, I have one because sometimes I just don't have the time. Because I've used both, I know the difference. Like I can sharpen using like a bench sharpener and it will cut stuff just fine. But when I use that whetstone, I just take a piece of paper and not even any force. I just put that knife and it just goes whoop, like there's fucking air there, and it just slices through the thing. Damn.
Do you ever take your kitchen knife and you do the samurai thing where you look at a fruit and you just go and then it just like cuts in 4 places?
I've tried. It doesn't work that way. It would be pretty cool. I've done the thing. I don't know if you've seen videos where people get like incredibly sharp knives and they cut the thinnest fucking slice possible off a tomato. My God. I don't know how they do some of that shit, but I can do it pretty thin. It's really fun. It's like paper. Also,
answer.
Anyone who says sharp knives are scary, blunt knives are the reason why people cut themselves in the kitchen, because blunt knives are unpredictable.
Oh, yeah. It's because you're trying to force it through something, 100%.
100%. Yeah. Sharp knives will never, ever hurt you in that way. Like, sharpen your fucking knives. You are keeping yourself safe.
Okay, to be fair, sharp knife could hurt you in that way. But
100%. It could. But I will never
likely.
cut myself because I'm like, oh my God, I can't get my knife through this carrot. If my knife is sharp, it will just cut it.
Yeah, the difference is you might reach over to your knife and accidentally like just cut the tip of your finger.
Do you know how many times when I reach for my knife in like a drying rack, I'm like, oof, if I just grab this the wrong way, I'm slicing myself right open. I think of this every time, but I mean, might be for people who are squeamish, but my parents used to have a mandolin, or they still do have a mandolin. Do you know what a mandolin is?
Captain Corelli's mandolin. It's the...
No. What a pull. I love that. Fuck me.
No, if you're not talking about that mandolin, I don't know what you're talking.
Jesus. A mandolin is like the thing, you definitely know what it is. It's like a straight like a board with a blade in the middle, and you like take like say a head of cabbage and you just go shoop,
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
100%.
that's a mandolin.
Damn, Captain Corelli's mandolin, not at all the movie. I thought
Not at all. Not even
this man
close.
shredding cabbage out. You're like, damn.
So mandolins, super good for cutting consistent, very thin slices of something like an onion or a potato, whatever.
I don't like where the story's
My
going.
parents had one, and I was washing the dishes. Did not realize that's what I was picking up. And I shit you not, this is obviously why something super sharp works, is because it cut me so deeply before I realized what was happening.
Oh my gosh.
To the point where I felt the cut, I looked, pain hadn't registered yet, and then just so much blood. Like, because it had just gone so deep, so quickly, so effortlessly. It just like, there was no resistance. There was nothing to get caught in me to go, it just went, whoop.
Oh my God.
I think about that from time to time, and it sends shivers down my spine because it was such a horrible cut. Just dreadful. Yeah.
Well, we'll leave you on this note, okay? If we're talking sharing horror stories. Not me. One of my colleagues blended her hand with the NutriBullet.
Blended her hand?
I saw a picture. She did not realize it was plugged in or something. I think she don't know, but I just saw the picture. It was, like the NutriBullet blade, just like her hand in it. In the like I got my hand blended. Just I don't want to imagine how deep that blade got into her finger.
Oh my God. Did she lose a finger? Did she?
No, absolutely. I think it was just like a super deep cut. What is hilarious is that
that's some Final Destination shit.
I think she was baking at the time as well, and if the story is true, I believe she still pulled her cookies out of the oven. What do you mean? So since that, and I've always been very good, like my NutriBullet, before I even look at that thing, I'll make sure, is it off at the wall? And that story just further solidified, because NutriBullet is dangerous in that, like if you put the blade in without the lid on and you push it down, it's going to blend. I always make sure it's off at the wall before I even
But is it even possible to do that with the NutriBullet? Because isn't the NutriBullet, you have to put the thing upside down and then press it down for it to engage?
But the thing is that blade comes off. So if you put it at the bottom of the thing, because that's all that's triggering it, is the pressure of you pushing it down.
Oh, I see what you mean. You mean. Oh, okay, yeah.
So if that blade is in there and she was trying to clean it, for example, she put her hand there and she pushed down, and it started blending. Yeah. So it wasn't like she put her hand in a spinning blender where,
No, I see now.
I think
she
put her hand on it, and then immediately the blade just got stuck. Yeah.
Oh,
must have been a lot of blood. Highly traumatic. I saw the picture.
Fuck, they must have been sore. Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Oof.
So on that horrific thought.
I mean, just to conclude this, have you seen? This is completely different, but have you seen those table saws? The people used to cut wood and whatever, that stop at the moment they touch like a finger or organic. I don't know how it works. I think it's something to do with
I have actually.
Like meat that closes a circuit or something. But I've always seen videos of people taking a Vienna, and as soon as that blade touches, it stops and doesn't even cut the Vienna. But then the saw's fucked. Whatever brake has been used to stop it has destroyed that thing. But hey, you didn't lose a finger.
Saves fingers. Yeah, I have actually.
They need that for NutriBullets, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yes, that is a design thing. I'm like, it's just so dangerous. I suppose any blender is dangerous, but that is a thing of
I mean, they always say most household accidents happen in the kitchen? This is why.
Because people ain't playing a mandolin in the kitchen, they're shredding.
Shredding cabbage and fingers alike.
Damn, that is so funny. Just your
I hope
reaction.
that answered your question, Chilla.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, thank you for the question.
This is why this is why you should send a question into the podcast. checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com. Welcome back, Chilla. I hope you have a good time home. Visit. Maybe you should join for a big walk.
He was there playing a big walk with us.
I missed it. Fuck.
It was hilarious because there were 8 of us at one point. I was like, I don't know where Chilla is. And why would I know? He just wasn't in my group. He might have been doing something else in the island. Later saw on Steam, the message was like, I'm heading out. I'm so tired. I'm still jet lagged. So he bounced at some point. I just had no idea he was gone.
He was one of those mannequins with the X's over the
Yeah,
eyes,
just
in the
straight
fucking
up
group.
gone, lost somewhere in the island. Yeah.
That's going to be episode 290 of Checkpoint Chat. As always, thank you so much for joining. We hope you are keeping safe and happy out there, playing all the good things before September and October consume us. We'll be back in a couple of weeks' time, as usual, and hopefully have loads more to talk about then. I'm sure that, I mean, there's a bunch I still need to get to just before September as well. So,
Yeah.
have a good few weeks. Let us know what you're playing. Send us messages. Stay safe. Keep well. Goodbye.
Bye.